Hello everybody, my name is Player Negative, and today we're talking about some independent animation. Yes, like I said before, I wanted to focus on a lighter topic next time, I'm man of my word. So rather talking about the situations with the border, or the hatred of Nintendo fans have for Trump, blaming on him, or the rampant issues of AI smacking down an artist, I want to pick up something a little more uplifting, and generally, why the animation industry is failing, and boy howdy is it failing. Indie animation, independent work has become one of the most interesting and well-known things, especially on this platform. Because this place is a home to some of the best animators ever, and as a new guy who's just joining the fray and not in the crowd, I'm just trying my best to make something interesting, and I want to stop with all the harsh and depressing stuff to take a moment to look at the people who actually try to make something out of passion and love and not out of cash or corporate greed. That is what I'm here to talk about, because animation is an art form and not a genre. Yet Disney and other people still can't understand that. And why I would love to talk about issues like people making bad parody movies, or how movies will always cast celebrities over actually capable actors, apart from Jack Black. That man's a man of his word and a very skilled, talented actor. Because there are some really good and interesting people on this landscape who prove you don't need $1 million to make a masterpiece. Just a pencil and a dream. And I can already hear the majority of you making the connection to that reference. I mean, apart from me, you got a lot of people who fall into categories that aren't even animators. You got people like me who like to explain stuff about issues like the Nintendo Switch 2, the real-life fake wizard who gives constructive criticism, gubis, a YouTuber who literally makes hundreds of videos with poorly drawn shorts, but uses that poorly drawn lack of experience to his advantage, creating a style that's funny and endearing all in its own. And that's not even counting animators like SMG4, who literally founded an entire animation studio making a bunch of independent shows that Disney could only dream of making. And apart from the animators, there's just so much interesting stuff that happens here. But it's not all fine and dandy. Out of my experience on being on here for a while, I've seen a lot of rude people who are genuinely don't rude, but for every terrible person, for every Karen, there is someone who's interesting. And that's not even counting the many icons who are here. Like, as a good example, this is Matthew Patrick, otherwise known as Mad Pat, the host of Game Theory. He retired recently, but he is generally an icon on the internet. He was the first YouTuber to ever come up with the concept of theorizing in lore, or using science to figure out deep stories within video games, movies, the film industry, food, or anything else. And then there were Let's Players like Markiplier, known for being one of the most generous and funny Let's Players on YouTube. He literally is known as the king of Five Nights at Freddy's, and was one of the very few people who was known well beyond just what he did on YouTube. And there are generally a lot of good examples of people like the two I just mentioned. For instance, you got people, no, not this guy, anybody but him, no. I wanted this video to be positive. I wasn't going to cover that guy because he's committed literal crimes and should be thrown in jail. I'm not talking about him. But getting back on topic, the reason I made this video was because I found something made by dubis that really intrigued me, because it might just be the slap in the face the film industry needs to realize their problems. I'm of course preferring Gubis, the movie, an entire little short dedicated to smacking the film industry in the face for all its bad issues, and literally making fun of some of the stupidest tropes you're ever gonna see.
Gubis was a cartoon man who thought he had it all.
Who are you?
A big shot who didn't think he had anything to worry about.
That's not true. I'm having a lot of weight issues.
Till one day,
You're supposed to answer, who are you?
he found things got a little too real.
Is this New York City? Is this the only place cartoons are allowed to live?
From the direct
So right off the bat, you can see that he's trying to make fun of some of the most generic tropes in the film industry, like putting cartoon characters in the real world, and the only live-action area they're allowed to live is New York. Sonic broke this trope by putting Green Hills in Montana, though.
Actor who brought you the Smurfs.
Oh, great news. Great. Absolutely.
Comes a tale.
We can't let any other human see you.
Why?
I don't know.
That'll make you green with envy. Wow.
So right off the bat, you can literally see he's making fun of movies like Hops and the Smurf, where the live-action character has to work with a cartoon CGI character, which I definitely appreciate. And since the real guy doesn't have a name, I'll just call him Paul.
Oh, this copyrighted music has made me realize the world is beautiful.
What have I done to myself? I'm hard.
Where did you used to live?
YouTube.com/.
Try being a broccoli.
Was it fun?
I have to get back to you on that.
Starring Aquafina as New York. And TJ Miller as New York.
Making fun of how the jokes of critics and the idea that celebrities are always cast in the place of voice actors who are actually capable. I love it.
Critics are saying,
Coincidence?
what the
I
fuck
think
is
not.
a dubis gubis?
We gotta get
This is genuinely funny, and while it is just an April Fool's joke, I just think it's just really funny or just really interesting that he's decided to make an entire movie meant to be a punching bag to Hollywood and all of its bad practices in modern times. And I genuinely gotta like it. And while some people might be skeptical about it, and there was a lot of swearing I had to cut out of the video, it was just generally funny. It'll show you that these guys are not in their right mind based off what they're smoking and only care about the amount of money in your pockets. So next time you go out and watch a video made by someone, just remember that this man or woman took their time with it because they wanted to make something genuine and something fun, not because of money or a desire for more. And I honestly appreciate that. And it doesn't just apply to filmmakers. We got independent video games being made and fan games even being made of those games, like Undertale Yellow. People creating interesting art and parodies of some stuff. I apologize for pulling up this image. And just generally fun and interesting things. So whether you're a 2D or hand-drawn artist or a 3D Gmod animator, go out of your way, take some time, watch something you used to love, and try to create something beautiful. It's not impressive that things like AI or budget cuts by companies could do it. It's a scandal. Create something and take your time with it. And if there's someone rude to you on the internet you're dealing with, muster up the courage and take the time to just ignore it. They just want your attention, and don't bother with them. I'm Player Negative. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It keeps the algorithm happy, and it puts me on a higher mark. And maybe one day, when I get my PC, I'll be animating things a little bit better. But until then, that's all I gotta say. See you later.